Dani Alves just revealed that he was betrayed by all his teammates from Barcelona. After Dani Alves was released from jail on bail, he was asked about the difficult times he went through, and he said, "I don't have to say it, but I will say it. I was betrayed by my childhood club Barcelona. All my friends betrayed me. The only person who supported me financially was Messi. He paid 2 lawyers to defend me and always asked about my welfare in prison. He paid the money for the first bail, while the second bail was paid by Memphis Depay and Neymar."
Cristiano Ronaldo just became the nicest athlete in the world. When a mother begged Ronaldo to donate his cleats to a 10-month-old baby who had a brain disorder, he instead gave her $83,000 to fully pay for the surgery the child needed. The child suffered from 30 seizures every day, and now lives a normal life, and even recently received a signed Ronaldo jersey. But the stories get better. Ronaldo once paid for the education for a 7-year-old survivor of the 2004 tsunami in Indonesia. The boy was found 21 days after the tsunami. He was alone and wearing a Portuguese national football team jersey. The boy grew up to be a football player and was recently signed by Sporting Lisbon last year. After that moment, Ronaldo dedicated his life to charity. He even refuses to get tattoos on his body so he can donate blood more regularly. But you won't believe this last story. A 13-year-old boy who was in a coma recently woke up by listening to Cristiano Ronaldo goals on his headphones every day.
We're still getting human error with VAR, so if we're going to still get that, let them just do it on the pitch, because otherwise it's just slowing everything down. It's taking minutes and minutes to get to the decision, which is still a human being making the final decision. So I think
one of the things that Wolves said in their statement was that it takes the joy out of the celebration when you score a goal as well, amongst the fans, the players, the coaches on the sidelines.
I'd agree with that. And even
what's your most unpopular opinion in football?
In terms of club football, I think Erling Haaland is a better player than Kylian Mbappe.
Really?
Look at the accolades he has won. This is coming from a United fan, yeah? He is a better goal scorer. He has won more trophies. But look at what Kylian Mbappe has done. He has crumbled against, what's that team called? Borussia Dortmund. He has struck the bar like 12 odd times. If you're that good player, mate, you just take them through to the final then. You don't crumble against Dortmund. We would have had the chance to sign Haaland and sign him over Kylian Mbappe any day of the week.
Congratulations. Blessing and PG will go to talk this one. From Akure to the world. How you feel now?
Now God run now. Nothing more. Now God, we thank God now. We know easy. We know our background, we know how far we come, and we know where soon they go, so we just have to give God everything.
How you go celebrate this title now?
I never know. But I'm really happy, I understand. You know, first year in Germany, winning the league, like 5 more games to go, so it's not easy. But we thank God, thank God.
Best day of your career?
I have good days also. This is not my first time winning league. Also, I won the league in Norway also, but I'm really happy.
But this is bigger.
Yeah, this is bigger. But then start of my career also was big, so but this is bigger, so it's nice.
Your message to your fans in Akure especially?
We go meet. We'll shut down everywhere when I come.
What about Amaka?
Amaka, where you want to see Amaka?
We never finish. I don't go wait. That's celebration that day.
Advisor Eric Chelle has presented himself with also a lot of people are saying how good he can be. He has presented with Ikorodu City in the replica game during the 2024-25 Premier League, Nigerian Premier Football League, match day 5 against Plateau United at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena on Nikon. So it was not long that Eric Chelle stamped Lagos. Super Eagles technical advisor Chelle made a surprise visit to Mobolaji Johnson Arena on Nikon on Wednesday to watch Ikorodu City play, and that's beat Plateau United. The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that the Super Eagles gaffer arrived with Lagos State Football Association LSFA officials led by Vice Chairman Oladotu Koka. Now, talking about the newly appointed Chelle, he's opted to remain in Nigeria and prioritize watching the local league. He fulfilled this promise with the appearance of the 2024-25 MPFL Match Day 5 fixture. I'd like to tell you the story. During the first half break in that very game, Eric Chelle walked onto the pitch to acknowledge the supporters' cheers. He was presented with the Ikorodu City Football Club replica jersey by the club chairman Sami Udoherty. At the tail of the fixture, Chelle described the match as a good one. He was then escorted away by security personnel. Ikorodu City Football Club coach, his name is Nuruddin Awero, described the visit as a memorable one in an interview. Nuruddin, his name is Nuruddin, he said, the visit of the Super Eagles coach is one of the best things that has happened to the team. Having him is a big plus. That is why we needed to prove our worth on the field and give our best. Now, let me talk about what Chelle is doing. You need to know this one is a good move. He's going to be staying in Nigeria. We'll tell you the story about his house, the new apartment in Asokoro in Abuja, and how far he has come to stay. Now, this is going to be like the first time in a long time we've had a Nigerian coach staying back in Nigeria to see MPFL games. Some of them always like to send in scouts to go see games, but today on the show, we learned that Eric Chelle is doing it in a very different note. Now, let's talk about another one again. He's drawn up now. Eric Chelle, according to report, Eric Chelle is now considering on building a project for Super Eagles. Most of the players on this list I'm about to bring to you are young and proactive players. But the coach believes that this will be the future of the Nigerian national team. Now, I talk about some players that include the likes of Etawaniri. He's 17, is a winger with us now. George Elenike is also 18, a striker with the Monaco side. Victor Udo, 19 as well. Victor is a winger with Southampton. Ahmed Abdullah is 20. Look at their ages. You know they're very, very young. From the Sunderland side, Kazim Olaigbe is 22. He plays for Rennes. So these are the players on the radar. Others are Ebenezer Akin Samiro, 20. He plays for Inter Milan. Samuel Adozie. So a whole lot of players who we are expecting to have back to the national team. But VOP TV Sports further learned that Coach Eric Chelle is favorably disposed to giving Leo new striker Chuba Akpom a very, very big chance in the national team. And Akpom has changed his international allegiance from England for several years now. While Maja also capped once in the Super Eagles national side, Eric Chelle has in addition shown serious interest in Newcastle winger Jacob Murphy. The father of that man is a Nigerian, so you know. So I like to tell you that Eric Chelle is not doing bad either. He wants to see that he brings all of these players to the national team, and that for me is a very key project. So it's good to see that the coach is making a move. So this is what we don't have for a long time. We don't have this project, but now we have Eric Chelle on the radar. But let me talk about the house part that Eric Chelle has gotten on this. Now, there's a news emanating out there that Eric Chelle has a new apartment in Abuja. So let's talk about that one. The Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has secured a house in Abuja for Super Eagles head coach Eric Chelle. The apartment rented for the Gaffer is a highbrow estate in Asokoro, report states. Now, moving on. As Super Eagles are preparing for the 26th FIFA World Cup qualifiers against the Amavubi of Rwanda and the Warriors of Zimbabwe next month, the Nigerian Football Governing Body wants Chelle to live and work in Nigeria, which was not the case with the previous foreign coaches we had in the past, the likes of Kenneth Rowe and also Jose Pesaro. The Malian recently returned to the country following his tour, from Europe, where he met some of the Super Eagles top stars. Now, can I tell you something about this one, why I like this story? It will be so good to have Chelle back in Nigeria. It will be so nice to see our coach doing the job in Nigeria for Nigeria and in Nigeria. You can see every of the games on satellite cables, watch the players fly the training clubs out in Europe, watch them do what they love, how to do well. But I love the part that the NFF have made it possible that he's going to be staying. I remember a time when Kenneth Rowe was our coach, the German. He never wanted to stay in Nigeria. He never wanted to stay in Nigeria. But long story short, we started talking about him. You can see the apartment, that's about the house. We'll bring it to you so you see it again. Now, it's not just about Chelle staying in Nigeria. He's going to be based here, not just like you're staying for a while and you're leaving. Pesaro was doing the hotel thing. Kenneth Rowe was doing the hotel thing. They were literally living in hotels. And you can imagine how much was paid. How much was paid during their stay in Nigeria. But now we have this new man. So I think this man is really doing everything we want. I don't know what his contract says deeply. I don't know if there's a contract in between that we don't even know. I'm just saying I don't know. But I like what he's doing now. Everything they want. Talk about the NFF. He's really on the game. Do you want us to go this way? It's a yes for him. So, but I'm so happy that right now in Asokoro in Abuja, there's a new apartment for the man. So everything he wants himself, he'll be getting it in Nigeria. And also that would also make him be able to see games, the MPFL. So our MPFL players should just be calm. Maybe this will be the structural change that we're looking for players in the MPFL. Because like I rightly said, if you apply your trade in the Nigerian Premier Football League, your hope is that one day you play for the Super Eagles. And if you're not being called up to the national team, you begin to feel so bad. You feel so sad, especially when you're doing well. So I like the story to say that Chelle is now going to be staying in Nigeria. And that's the good news for Nigerians, because sometimes it's always not so right when the coach is away from the country. He begins to hear the things like news. Some of them becomes rumors. But now he's here, so he can visit anywhere he wants. I mean, I think all the luxury things will be out there. And I'm so sure for the NFF to have found this house for him, this apartment, it means that he's ready to go. Now, let's tell you more about the Champions League thing that happened yesterday. We'll tell you about that one, but keep it aside. Now, the game that was played on Tuesday, we'll talk about that. Well, let's connect live with our guest, who is in Awka, Anambra State, to be exact. So we talk this through. The question is that, are you happy to see Eric Chelle back in Nigeria with an apartment? Welcome. Good morning. Great to have you, my man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a welcome development because it's good that our coach is at home.
Right.
You know, he needs everything. Right. He needs everything he could get now. All the comfort he needs to get. He needs all. And it's a very good one that the NFF have gotten him a very comfortable home so that it could enable him, you know, execute all plans he had, you know, because a lot of situation here and there, you know, the saga behind his appointment. So
right.
Definitely it's a welcome, it's a welcome development, and he really needs that comfort to enable him work well.
Okay, so let's talk about Chelle before we get to the next phase. Now, Eric Chelle, on this one now, new apartment, would this be, I don't know, I'm just saying, this man knows the kind of job he has gotten himself into. He knows it's like an ultimatum placed on him. Nigeria must make it to the World Cup. We can't afford to lose out. If we do, it will be the second time, like consecutively. The last time we missed out on Qatar, and now we are just in a precarious situation. Be sincere with me, as a sport enthusiast that you are. No, don't be sentimental. Just tell me what it is. Do you see Nigeria making it to the World Cup?
Sorry, I can't get that because of the network.
Okay, so all right. I talked about Eric Chelle. Can you hear me very well now? Can you hear me well? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so I talked about Eric Chelle and the new house. It's a good news for him. But I'm asking you this question. As a sport enthusiast that you are, do you see Nigeria making it to the World Cup with Eric Chelle? Does he have what it takes to turn the table around, knowing fully well that we're in a very deep, precarious situation on the group?
Well, if talking about Eric Chelle, whether he has the technical know-how,
right,
I will say yes. Right. But thinking he's going to turn around everything I know he has all it takes. If players are going to give him all, 101%, definitely Eric Chelle is going to do well. There's no doubt about it. Then, if there's not going to be any interference from the NFF or from the Nigerian politicians, definitely he's going to do well.
Yeah, you talk about politics. I'd like to hold you with that one. Politics, do you see politics? Do we have politics in our football? NFF?
We'll have a dangerous aspect of politics. Most of the times we tend to bring regional politics into sports. And this has not fetched us anything. It's always good to bring in the people who knows what to do. Putting a round peg inside a round hole. That's all it takes. We need to separate politics from sports. We claim to be there. We have the talent. We have everything. But most of the times we find out that the administration is the problem. That's the
Okay, I think the network is, I can't quite hear you very well. It's breaking. I believe that's a network issue. But quickly, while we connect back again to our correspondent in Awka, Anambra State in Nigeria. Let's talk about Lookman is in the radar now. Ademola Lookman is one man everyone is talking about. His news is just everywhere on social media. We'll bring out his posts. But before I talk about Lookman talk, I must say this, Gianpiero Gasperini, I'm a very big fan of what that man has done over time. I love what's really happening in Bergamo. I love the structure and how far they've come within a short period of time. 1963 was the last time they did, after so many years. But let me talk about this now. Super Eagles are also, commiserating with that man, Ademola Lookman. Nigerian senior national team, the Super Eagles have expressed their support for Ademola Lookman after the forward were publicly criticized by Atalanta manager Gianpiero Gasperini for missing the penalty in the UEFA Champions League home defeat against Club Brugge. In a short solidarity message, the official Super Eagles ex-handle, formerly known as Twitter, quoted Lookman's statement on the controversy with a brief but powerful message that says, "We are with you, Ade." Responding to Gasperini's remark on a statement on Wednesday, Lookman described the coach's public rebuke as deeply disrespectful. You can see on your screen. Now, Lookman went as far as saying, being singled out in a manner being singled out in a manner I have been not only hurts me, but feels deeply disrespectful. Not least because of the immense hard work and commitment I have put in the club side every day to help bring success. Okay, now let's quickly get on the message that Lookman sent out, talking about what happened in Bergamo. It's a very bad one. Now, Lookman is one man that everybody knows he barely doesn't really like to talk. Ademola Lookman is one man everybody knows he does not talk so much. But looking at his message, that reads, he said, "It saddens me on a day like this to have to write this statement. Most of all because of what we have achieved together as a team and as a city. Being singled out in a manner I have been not only hurts but feels deeply disrespectful. Not least because of the immense hard work and commitment I have always put in each and every day to help bring success to this club and to the incredible fans of Bergamo. In truth, I have dealt with many difficult moments during my time here. This is like a confession now. We don't even know this part. We don't know. Nobody knows this part. We don't know this part." And he went on, and let me say that again. Let me reiterate again. He said, "In truth, I have dealt with many difficult moments during my time here, the majority of which I have never spoken about because, in my opinion, the team must always be protected and must come first. And that's just what it is. This makes what happened last night even more hurtful." This is a message he posted out. A whole lot of people waited for this message to see that Lookman will have to bring out something. Now, he said, "Along with our incredible fans, we as a team are hurting too with last night's results." That's for Tuesday. "During the match, that designated penalty taker instructed me." Just like the word, let's hold this one like the actual word of this. He said, "During the match, the designated penalty taker," we know that the Charles Catelera there, we also know that was the Retegi there, they said, "Take this penalty, and to support the team, I took responsibility in the moment to do so. Life's about challenges and turning pain into power, which I will continue to do." Now, that's a statement that comes from the man, Ademola Lookman. Everybody knows that Lookman is one man. If you don't know Lookman for any reason, you need to know him that he doesn't really talk so much. But at this point in time, he has come out to say it's a whole lot. We know how he plays with his body, spirit, soul, and mind. He's an integral part of the Bergamo side. The last time they clinched the trophy, we know the story. He scored a hat-trick, and guess what? The first leg of that very encounter, talk about that very game. The first leg, Lookman was not part. They lost. Returning to Bergamo, the only goal that they got, he scored. Now, why am I not a fan of this story? Like I rather said, I would fault Gianpiero Gasperini on one part, without due respect. The fact where he has come out not to cover the player, but to open his mouth and talk out. Now, it's expected that the manager would cover his team. Now, can I even shock you? Let me take you back to the first, during the Champions League, during the group phase, where they met with Arsenal. Retegi missed the penalty. He missed the penalty, and Gianpiero Gasperini, the coach of Atalanta, came out and said to the media, he said, he's a very good player, we have to commiserate with him, blah, 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 blah. He covered him up. Why is Lookman's case different? Lookman has said, a whole lot has been going on in this club side but I've just decided to respect the club because it's not me, it's not ideal for me to talk. So let's go back to Oka and talk about this now. On this saga, would you say Gianpiero Gasperini, the man I respect so well, has done well by putting out Lookman out there? And you heard from Lookman saying a whole lot has been ongoing, but I just decided not to talk about it.
Okay, it's quite unfortunate. It's fortunate that something of this nature could come out from a coach that is well respected.
Right.
Gasperini is a coach we respect so much, but he has really shown that one side of his thoughts, if every now and then, like Ademola Lookman said, he keeps picking on a player. How can 11 players be in the field and you're picking one player?
Just one.
Just because he missed the penalty. But this is the same guy who scored the goal and you're picking on him. It shows you're not really relaxed with him. Maybe because he said during the transfer window, the summer, he said he wanted to leave. Maybe that is where he's having
the issue.
Grudges.
Right.
You know? Yeah, maybe because he's having grudges with him. Because he thinks to leave the club. And I mean, Ademola Lookman, like you rightly described him, is not somebody who talks.
Right.
He's somebody who tries to assimilate, who tries to cover the team. You know, all up there. He needs to think about it. His team needs to look at it and know how to do it. But the whole ball to order, because this singular thing can destabilize the whole team.
Right.
He needs to be called to order.
He needs to be called to order. You mean Lookman? Hello, can you hear me?
I'm with you.
Okay, do you mean who needs to be called to order? Gianpiero Gasperini or Lookman?
Gasperini needs to be called to order, not Lookman. Lookman has done his job. Like he rightfully said, the people who are supposed to take the penalty said, you can take the penalty.
Right.
He has no game of law. It's not a must, he must score penalty.
Okay.
It's
not
a must.
Yeah, it's not a must. I mean, even the world-class players or the world best players miss penalty. But quickly, bring it back to me. Let me talk a bit about this before we talk about what Ifeanyi Udeze has come to say. Ifeanyi Udeze is not a fan of this story. You know him. He works in our sister station right here in Lagos as well. He's saying, look, man, it's hard time. You pack your bag and leave. So before I talk, let me talk about Udeze before I talk about my own take on this very story, because my mouth not good. I not just get joy now. Now, let's talk about Ifeanyi Udeze on the story. Ademola Lookman ought to quit Atalanta in the summer after his coach blamed him for the exit in the Champions League, according to former Super Eagles star Ifeanyi Udeze. Now, Atalanta coach Gianpiero Gasperini blasted the Super Eagles star for stepping forward to take the penalty kick that could define the Champions League playoff against Club Brugge. Now, Ademola Lookman failed to convert the spot kick on the hour for the Club Brugge side, against the Club Brugge side, to hold on to that 3-1 win. Now, to the round of 16 on aggregate, you can say 5-2. He just, Udeze has come to say, this is what it is. He just needs to pack his bags and quit the club in the summer. And this is coming from Ifeanyi Udeze, who is not happy with the story. He said he's no longer wanted at the club according to the club. Now, Ifeanyi Udeze is coming to say with the body movement that we've seen recently. He said fellow Nigerians are equally being angered at the moment with the comment of the Atlanta coach. Some were critical of the coach for not protecting the player and making him the scapegoat, while some argued he ought not to have openly dismissed him for not converting the spot kick. But let me say this right. Say some kind of time we say we talk, we say we just talk. This is wrong. We know the story. You never have to tell what about Osimhen within the corner that and Visha Varaskela. And I know the story. Maybe say they go come on. We get what they do for Napoli that time. For Maradona, they go carry Varaskela. They first put Osimhen. They go come out. They can't give that one king. Osimhen, his body language says he needed to leave. Now, I don't know. I don't want to believe this is about Italians. I don't want to believe it. But truth be told, waiting not good, not good. Guy want to paint him. See, more talking. Start to talk from Ederson, Jeroen, the Cataleria, Belanova, Quadrado, all of these players they did that club. Lookman are their best player. It's clear. I give record to Gianpiero Gasperini a lot of time because He has this man management. I give him one. On the show yesterday, I talked about him. He's one of those managers that you must give credit to. He has kept Lookman on the bay. In other words, Lookman has always been a one-season player on every club side he goes. Check him out from Charlton, check out Everton, check out RB Leipzig. He wants to be a part of every team because he's trying not to settle for less. But here he came and he's found his footage. And at some point, we heard the saga about him going to Paris Saint-Germain, blah, 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 blah. He's not going to come out. He still stayed. Now, at this point, the truth of the matter is that Lookman needs to leave. But not be Lookman be the first person to miss penalty. You go imagine what he make Nigerians now when they come, they join and they support him. We are with you because it's not so bad. Now, we saw the message. More kind of message come. I mean, I see him. Lookman say, not be the first time where Sokati is all they have for that club. I don't want to talk him. He's just being professional. You don't need to say a lot because we know about the contract. We know something governs a player. But why the coach will come out when they blast Lookman? He said, you know, the worst part of it, he said, he's the worst penalty taker I've ever seen. You can't say that. See, say that the coach Gianpiero Gasparini, one of the world-class coaches today, now Lookman. I don't want to sound this way, but that's how bad I feel on the show. Because this man has been on this job. We know his story. Go check out his record of Atalanta. Who know them before? Begam, who know them? One player, single-handed carry team, turn the table around, give the hat-trick for champion for Europa. We go spoil Boniface's record, so. Look why now they can go, because they go miss one penalty. Now, why would the coach come out? Okay, Retegi. I think I have a picture of Retegi and Lookman on that one. Producer will do justice to that. There's a Lookman and Retegi picture that I have. So people will know who is the Retegi of a guy. Now, Retegi, the Ketelere, these guys are penalty takers, I know. But Lookman said, they asked me to take it. If he has scored the goal, what difference would he have made? So, Gianpiero would have not spoken a word. Because Lookman go miss penalty. Well, okay, let me connect back to Oka again. Let me meet my man. Let me ask this one. What is the body language? What do you expect from a Lookman now? Will you say that it's time for him to go? Is this the right time for him to kick off?
I think he has any anymore. Like you rightfully said, the coach does not like Lookman. He's a racist. I beg to just tell us the truth.
Right.
Spineri is a racist. Because if Lookman could come out and say, a lot of things has been happening in that club.
Right.
I remember when Zapata.
Yeah, Duvan Zapata.
That club.
Yeah.
Duvan Zapata. He has to leave because these are part of the things that made him leave. He has to leave that club and you understand. So
right.
Definitely, the language of the coach shows. It seems he will shine, but I don't agree.
Right.
You understand? You need to. 100%. Ademola Lookman needs to leave. If 11 players play the game and one player is being singled out, now that he's being singled out, is the same player that scored the consolation goal, then somewhere. It's not done anywhere. So definitely, Ademola Lookman, it's time to quit Atlanta.
Okay, so I have a message on the YouTube comment section from Balance. That's the name. Balance has come to say Lookman must stay and humble himself. Well, let me address this one you just sent in. Balance. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Humble himself. See, let's be factual. Let's say it the way it is. We've never heard Ademola Lookman talk before. I think that's one of his friends as a social media enthusiast. He does a whole lot. Lookman is not a talking person. He's a very quiet guy. Like some people will say he was brought up very well by his parents. But regardless of anything, if a Lookman can come out and say he gets some kind of way they happen for this club where no one come out talk. Bro, small talk to me say get things maybe say don't cast. Now, sometimes we begin to look at players' body language, body gestures. It works for me. If you play the game, you understand. I knew ahead of time there was no way Victor Osimhen would have stayed with Napoli because his body language alone says a lot. I can't be on this club. Now, Conte knew. See, I don't like I really said, I don't want to believe that this is just about Italians. But you really heard my man in Oka saying he's a racist. I would not fault him for saying so. I mean, Dusan Zapata also was at the club. Now, when I look at Atalanta, when I look at their setup, Atlanta, how many matches they win when Lookman get injury? Lookman is their best player. I'm not saying it because I'm a Nigerian. I'm not saying it because I want to take side. I'm saying it because of the way it needs to be. We want to see managers come out to manage the team, not just manage the team, man management. You can't come out and criticize your best player. If you think Lookman is not the best player, tell me who is Atlanta's best player? Who? Ederson, Derun, who? Belanova, who? Slamovic. Just tell me, Lookman is their best player. And he happened to return. So if he had scored that goal, it would have been a brace. Because the best can't go miss. Everyone, the people say they carry penalty for head. Fernando here, all those, even Ronaldo, they miss. And now, my concern is not just about what has happened, because after all is said and done, more is said and done. My concern is about Lookman now, his body language, his body movement. How would he be able to stay at the club? Because looking at that message, let's bring out that post again so you see, you will read and you will understand that Lookman is not happy. So we have the summer. So you have to stay from now till the summer. And it's high time he left. Because you look at this message, now some part of, let me even go to one part that I must hold very right. He said, in truth, I have dealt with many difficult moments during my time here. He's still at the club. You can see it. He said, the majority of which I have never spoken out. I've never spoken about, because in my opinion, the team must always be protected. And that's what is expected from Gianpiero Gasperini to have done. Protect your player, protect your best players. You did it against Protegui. Why would Lookman be different? He said, this makes what happened last night even more hurtful. I just tired for all these people. When I can't come back first, I just tired. You know, remember Euro when we say we watch? You get my Euro watch that time, 2020, Abi? When we say Rashford, and then Sancho go miss penalty. I remember that one, Abi? Everywhere they go bust. Why? Michael Jackson, of blessed memory, right side of the world. He said, it doesn't matter if you're black or white. How does my skin color? Because if you want to look at this thing now racial abuse, now racism. And they try man not talk saying now racism, but it not work. You really forgot about the past. So what would I see? Pep Guardiola in City. You get one time City, they lose match. Guardiola came out and defended City. Okay, I have this one from Adeyan U. Frederick. I said, for now, Lookman is the best player in Atalanta. I'm waiting for the club management to address the situation as it is of urgency. Exactly. They need to do that. But men are not expect too much, because in another way they do Osimhen for TikTok. You know, see them where they go do. At the end of the day, they say now they don't even apologize. At some point, they feel like they owe you no apologies. But let's be factual. What is bad is bad. What is right is right. Road Ben, not me say you're Ben Wakaput. Well, Lookman, I wish him all of the best. He's a very good player, and I will say it again. You not get a club where that guy go today when he go start. Now African best be that because he missed penalty. I mean, more you leave that one. More than that story. Now let's talk about Brom, ex Super Eagles player. He has joined Ola Aina to leave, join Manchester City. Away from the Lookman story, former West Brom Albion defender Ifanyo Daisy had advised Super Eagles star Ola Aina to seize the opportunity to join Manchester City if the Premier League champions are calling this summer. Aina is 28 and has been a standout performer for Nottingham Forest since joining on a free transfer from Torino in July 2023. His contract, which initially ran for a year before it was extended, is set to expire at the end of the season, though Forest reportedly have the option to trigger a one-year extension. Despite talks of potential renewal, speculations continue to swell around Ola Aina's future. Moving on, reports suggest that Manchester City, who loaned Kyle Walker to AC Milan in January, could be monitoring the Nigerian fullback as a potential replacement. But the former Super Eagles Park and Salonika side and AEK Athens star Ifanyo Daisy, who does the sport job in our sister station, however, believes Ola Aina should move on from Forest if an elite club like City makes an offer. Udede said, I expect him to leave Nottingham Forest at the end of the season. If I'm Ola Aina and a club like City come, I will leave. Udede is 44. He said he did not stop at arguing Ola Aina to consider a switch. Talking about the former Super Eagles left back, he also showered Forest man with a high praise, claiming he has been a standout performer for the club in his position in the Premier League this season. All right, Ola Aina is in the news. Let's talk now. Would you advise he leaves if a club like City comes calling? Because for me, in my honest opinion, I would say let him think well, let him be wise in making any positioning or any move. Because as at now, Man City already got Coulson of the first Mexican player, and he's doing very well. We saw him at the Champions League yesterday, even though Kylian Mbappe stole the show yesterday. But I would not advise Ola Aina to make that move. What's your take about Ola Aina making a move to a City side, if possible, if they come calling?
Okay, it's a two-way thing.
Right.
First, you got to look at
Another news again, Gift Orban. Gasparini said, Ademola Lookman, this talk now vex me. Now you see that boy now, Orban, that just when he did Leon, he did play for FN, so he did score go anyhow. He said, this is from the manager, Gasparini, will bring you the picture of a press conference when he was saying this. He said, Ademola Lookman is one of the worst penalty takers I have ever seen. He wanted to take the penalty after scoring a goal. If you say he scored, he go Tom Breeze. He took the ball despite Retegli and Charles Teketelere being available. I didn't like what Lookman did. The public criticism prompted Lookman to break his silence with disappointing message and singled out himself. Lookman said, you know the story, he saddens my heart. That's the whole story, you know what he has said. But TSG Hoffenheim forward, Gift Orban, reacted to this quickly, offered words of encouragement to his countryman by replying to Lookman's post on X, formerly known as Twitter. And he said, we stand with you, bro, he wrote in that message. Despite the setback, Lookman remains one of Atlanta's key players this season. In his 2024 season, he has scored 15 goals in 28 appearances for the club, 10 in the Serie A and 5 in the Champions League. So let's even say it. What is going on now? I expect like Adejanu, that's the name, Adejanju, Frederick on YouTube, comment section rather said, let's wait to know if the message will be out from the Atalanta board. If there will be a message to address this issue, because one thing is imperative, we should be looking at Lookman's body movement now. If a player is not happy with a club mentally, it affects him psychologically and otherwise. So I expect them to address this issue and make sure that Lookman, Ademola, is happy with the club. How many players don't win African best from Atalanta before? You go think nobody. God can't even go help. I can't come for fine. I can't go score hat-trick for Europa. We sang his praise. I gave a whole lot of record to Gianpiero Gasparini. I talked about him all the time. I like him. You can call him a world-class coach with how far he has come with his shortcoming. Atlanta and a small club side for inside Bergamo for Italy. Nobody know them. But sometimes, truth be told, they get time when say go rich player will come out for club. Look man now, in body language self, you go come out. The only good thing I must give credit to Atlanta coach Gianpiero Gasparini was the fact where he kept Lookman last season. If you say Lookman come out that last season for not make sense. But now he has won it all. What else does he want to win with the club? Looking at the Serie A, the Liga Serie A, truth be told, the be like saying Napoli not go grill. Chance not there. Napoli not the year one. Napoli won't carry on. See with his score, we say they don't balance. That they meet you, say you can't get players. They say they meet you come strong. Or the Lobotka, McTominay and Gisa. Strong midfield, so they are good to go. But wrapping up on the show, I don't know if I have my man back on the show. I don't know if I have him back. I don't know if we connect back to Oka if he's here with me. Is he still here with me? Okay, you're here with me. Yes, great to still have you back on the show. I'm so sorry the network is really taking you off and on. But hopefully tomorrow, a better time, we can talk more. But on this Lookman's issue, let me ask you, if a good club come calling for Ademola Lookman, would you advise him, make it carry back the run, they come out, as today they rightly said?
So he doesn't even need to look back 2 times. He needs to take off with immediate effect.
Right.
He doesn't need, it's not a prayer point. He needs to just vanish. If he could vanish, let him vanish from the club. That's the truth. He needs to leave. Ademola Lookman is a very big asset.
Right.
No club will want to toil with him. No club will want to toil with him. Asset. So definitely, if any big club comes for him, man, he needs to leave. That's
okay. All right. That's all. So lastly on the show, let's talk about this one. There's the talk about Nigerian players, a legend switch and the rest of that. But the viral report of the interest of the coach of the senior national team, Eric Chelle, is luring players born abroad to commit to the national team. But we have Chelle, who will take charge of the Super Eagles in March. That will be the first game against Rwanda, Kigali, and also later on play some days later with Zimbabwe. We have Arsenal youngster Itawani on loan, Chelsea though, Kana Chukwemeka, Leslie Kuchuku. When I come in, a whole lot of these players are on this. But reacting to the news, chieftaincy of the, let's call it chieftain, that's the name. A chieftain of the NFF said none of the above listed players will be listed for this one, will be available for that call. And he said, but as it's a customary in the World Cup year, some players will make themselves available if the team makes it to the tournament next year. He went as far as saying none of the players will be in the team of the match games, but we can look forward to subsequent games for those who are interested in playing for the Super Eagles, but it's a World Cup year, so you expect eligible players to make themselves available for selection, and then that's if Nigeria would qualify. But let me ask you, let's wrap up with this very one. You said you believe in Nigeria will make it to the World Cup, but let me ask you, all of these boys, let me say their names, all the sweet, they talk, all the Waneri, all the Chukwemeka, all of the Eleken, all of the players don't plenty. In Nigeria, the people say they call us with talent. Is there any of these players that you want, I mean, one or two that you will want us to have in our national team now?
Definitely, maybe Waneri.
Oh, I know say you go talk Waneri, everybody like him.
No. Maybe Waneri, because it's been a very long time we enjoyed wing game.
Right.
You know, apart from having the likes of Moses Simon and Ademola Lookman, who started introducing that vibe we used to have, but we've not really gotten there. You remember when the likes of Finidi George and Tijani Gida, were there.
Yeah.
We were enjoying
deep wingers.
Game.
Right.
It was very lovely. So definitely Waneri. In fact, let's have Waneri. He's a very then we'll talk about our midfield, because a lot of work is needed in midfield, because that's where the injury room comes. And Didi has been doing his best, but we need more solidity in there, because that's where the bulk of the problem lies. We need our injury room well compact, and creativity. He is a good player, but he needs to be consistent. That's where we always have that issue. Consistency is where he will be always have that issue. But Iwobi is a very fantastic creative player. I love him, but he needs to step up his game.
Okay.
To be creative for 90 minutes, and that is it.
All right, thank you so much. Great to have you on the show. We can do this again, hopefully, maybe tomorrow or thereabout. Thank you so much for the nice time with you. What a moment! I really appreciate. Thank you so much. We can do more when the show continues. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Oh, back to Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, it's time me to go now. The show continues. I will have to talk this through. Hopefully, the guys by the evening will be here to kill on the show to tell you more positively. That's the time. Don't miss out on the evening show. Jerry will be here. But up until then, I need to go. You already know that everything that's got to start will definitely come to an end. But Gianpiero Gasparini, John no say me are the best for you. I like you. I don't come and say you be world-class coach. I don't respect you. I don't give you the praises. Now you're going to do my Lookman like. Don't say Lookman like the king of African football. But no worry, we'll talk about that tomorrow when I come. My name is Kizzy K, and I'll be doing this again hopefully tomorrow, 11 a.m. Nigerian time. But don't forget, I'm the only sport man without a jersey. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Nigerian time. I'll see you. Safe.